Hello, my chickadees! Welcome back to Glass Hearts. This is part 5, I do believe. So if you haven't seen the other parts, I suggest you hop on over to my channel and check them out. We are in a mental hospital. Yeah! I don't remember much of what we did in the last part because it's been, oh my gosh, a few months. But I do know that we got to have a nice moment with our roommate Moyu. That poor boy. That poor boy. He needed a nice moment. So, and we got a break from our crazy nurse. But I have a feeling the guy's going to be back soon. Anyway, let's dive on in and see what we can get up to this time. Okay, load. Oh my goodness, where did we stop? I think it was this one, right? Maybe. Yeah, we stopped here. Oh my gosh, March? Okay, it's been almost 3 months. Holy crap. Okay. Kai's half-baked idea to take Moyu to the second floor and pour some color to his dull daily routine seemed to unexpectedly bear fruit faster than anyone could have expected. Oh yeah, we took him up to the balcony and he got to look out at the city, and that made him happy because he's always looking outside. He likes being outside. The very next day, when Kai offered to share some of his fruit, Moyu smiled. A small, coy smile barely lifting the corners of his beautiful lips, but clearly there, and clearly meant just for him. Kai's heart fluttered at the unusual, wonderful sight. Moyu took the gift with what could almost be described as eagerness, his chopsticks meeting Kai's halfway and bumping into each other. He gnawed on the fruit happily, his eyes not retreating shyly like they used to, but holding Kai's gaze with a playful spark of intrigue. He has some life in him! Nice to see you in a good mood, Moyu. We have some time until we have to go back, so want to play cards? Or would you rather do something else? Moyu pursed his lips, then caught his lower lip between his teeth. Cards. I'd like that. I almost can't believe we're having a conversation like this. Glad I prepared and took the deck with me, just in case. Hey, it's Zhu Ying. Cards? Did someone say cards? Sure. What are we playing? Nothing. We were just... Oh, and Leanne showed up too! Leanne! Zhu Ying, we are not done talking. What are you... Kai! Hi! Oh man, I forgot all their voices. It's been so long. We can talk more later. Look, Kai and Moyu invited us to play some cards. Come plop down. We didn't invite you. You invited yourself. You guys play cards? I haven't seen cards, actual cards, since I was 10. But I'll gladly join you guys. Sure, just, they all made themselves comfortable already. It's not like I have any room to refuse. Alright. Moyu, you okay with this, baby? Let's play poker. Zhu Ying is cheating. For the 3rd time today. What? No, I'm not. You're peeking into Moyu's hand. I saw it. I wasn't. Mind your own business, Kay. You're just jealous of my epic winning streak. I'm not jealous of anything. It can't be called a win if you broke the rules. Pfft. Kids. Oh no. Is a nurse here to take away Leanne? Leanne? Ugh. Okay, all 3 of these guys are potential love entrants. Entrants? Yeah. Oh goodness. Leanne, is the youngest person in the entire asylum at 18. He's been seeing ghosts and spirits and weird things ever since he was little. So, I can't remember if he checked himself in or if he was checked in. Hey, sorry to bother you, but I'm here to talk to Lynn. Can I borrow him for a moment? Yilong? What are you doing here? Let's talk somewhere in private. I don't believe you want to have this conversation in front of your pals. Leon raised to his feet with his fist clenched. Follow me. Oh no. Hey, you said yourself we're not finished. Where are you going? What the fuck was that about? Have you ever seen that dude around? Before Kai gathered his thoughts to answer, Moyu tapped his index finger on the table. He's a photographer. Comes here to take photos. Take photos? Of what? Oh no. The heck? You know what? I'm not in the mood to play anymore. I better check up on him. Jean got up with so much force that he nearly knocked over the nearby chairs. He left the table with his brows forming a deep frown. Did Lian and Jiying become friends that somehow? It's not something I would expect. But putting that aside, it's strange he knows that guy who photographed Moyu. Kai instinctively looked over at his roommate, but he didn't receive a glance back. Oh, does he take that kind of photos? Moyu would know. Moyu would freaking know. And now he's targeting Leon? Oh no. Oh no. We need to save our boys. Hey, I like your jacket. Bunny boy. Next time Kai saw Subin, his friend had a distinctively different look in his eyes than during his first visit. He seemed more relaxed, too, though far from being at ease. He didn't inch away from Kai whenever the other got closer, but it was evident from the tension lingering in his body that Long River Hospital wasn't a place Subin enjoyed spending time in. Subin was our co-worker before, I think. Which was only fair. If Kai was allowed to leave, he would so instantly, no questions asked. They talked almost like they used to. Subin looked joyful and lively, boasting to Kai about his new wardrobe. Because, how cute is that? Just look at that hoodie! And about meeting someone online that he asked out. Kai felt happy for him. I feel I shouldn't really talk about that kind of stuff, though. It's not like you had any chance to date since this. Oh, you'll be surprised. We went on a date to the roof. Don't worry about that. I like listening to whatever makes you happy. And besides, I wasn't really dating all that much when I could anyway. Or at all. It's not like my thing, you know? So you can talk to me about it all you want. Too kind. But what about... Well, did you make any friends here at all? I did. Actually, I did. There's at least a few people that I came to like. One of them being my roommate. A roommate? Wow, I didn't expect you to have a roommate here. Me either, to be honest, but it's so much better this way, even though Moyu isn't very talkative or approachable. Well, but I do like him quite a lot. Oh, look, we're blushing! I can see that. You blushed. What? Really? Maybe a little, but I know for sure. I like that reaction. So honest and so much you. Tell me more about Moyu then. If you like him, I like him too. Subin was playing with his hoodie drawstrings, grinning at his one of his own small jokes when Kai could barely keep himself from choking. The laughter was good. So good, and even though it sounded bizarre and out of place in the nearly empty cafeteria where others eyed them suspiciously, at that moment, Kai couldn't really care less. When both of them calmed down, Subin hesitated for a moment, then gave Kai a serious look. I think I didn't explain myself well enough last time, Kai. I'm here for you. Whether or not, okay, wait a second. I'm here for you. Whether or not, whether you want or not want to tell me, whatever you did or didn't do, I'm here for you. No matter what. Not only because I owe you so much, but because you're not just any guy, Kai. You're someone special. Kinder. Smarter. And so patient with everyone. Always. Better than most. I didn't do it. I didn't kill Huzin. I won't blame you for not believing it, but all I did was push him around a little. The fact that he was found dead shocked me as much as it did everyone else. I know it sounds convenient and all, given that I was there and I did hit him, but it's the truth. He was perfectly fine when I left the scene. There's no way, unless someone else turned up and... I see. As I said, you don't have to believe it. It's fine, really. I just wanted to speak my truth, at least in front of you. No one else would listen. I believe you. Kai, I believe it. I just... Thank you for saying it out loud. I never believed that you would truly be a murderer. Not the Kai I knew. The question is, how can we get you out of here? You can't stay in this horrible place. I don't think there's anything that you, or I, or anyone who'd be willing could do, honestly. Time for that had passed. That can't be right. You're innocent, and innocent people can't be locked up for someone else's crimes. Subin covered his lips with his hands, eyes wide. He glanced around, but thankfully no one was paying them much attention anymore. It's nice our friend is on our side. At first he was like really hesitant about coming in, because he didn't know what to think. And now he's like more firmly on our side. I like that. We need a good friend on the outside. Because our friends on the inside definitely can't escape either. You go, Subin. Sorry for shouting. I didn't mean to. I'm not used to losing my temper. You know that. I don't like losing control like this. But Kai, I meant what I said. I won't allow you to waste away in a psychiatric hospital for nothing. Even if you were guilty. Even if you really did kill that creepy old teacher. I think I'd still... But you're not. You didn't do anything wrong. I won't allow this to happen to you. Subin. Let me help you. That's all I ask. Yes, please help us. Oh, but if we leave, that means we have to leave Moyu. And Lian, how have you been lately, Mr. Song? Any pains? Any concerns? As always, the psychiatric's eyes were focused on a sheet of paper in front of him as he talked to Kai. You haven't been giving your nurse or anyone else trouble recently. This suggests that the therapy is working, and we are observing a slow yet steady improvement. The thing is, Mr. Song, that there might be a way to accelerate this process if you agree to it. Recently, our hospital has been enlisted as one of the few to start experimental therapy that involves a new generation of drugs. They are reported to be highly successful. If the process of your treatment goes well, as I expect, it is likely that your time here will be considerably shorter than we first estimated. Wouldn't you like to go back to your old life eventually, Mr. Song? I do, of course I do. An experimental therapy? How bad can it really be? It can be bad. It can be bad. I would like to try it. A wise decision. We should start right away. You'll need to read and sign this form and... Oh no. Oh no, we're having a moment. So you lost another job. Not lost, I quit. I thought you did well at the restaurant. Did the manager fire you? Subin would never fire me. I've always told you to work hard, but you had this tendency to slack off. I didn't. I've always tried my best. What? How could you say that to our faces that you're not a slacker? I remember you scoring second in second grade of high school. How is that not slacking? Even your homeroom teacher was disappointed that you let that dull Cho kid's grade beat yours. I knew how badly Cho Min's parents would beat him if he didn't. Losing to him back then, I didn't feel bad. Trouble? You've always caused so much trouble. You could have achieved so much, Kai. You were such a promising boy. Our parents suck. Kai stirred slowly, coming back to his senses. When did he fall asleep? Was it tomorrow already? The last time he remembered, he was still in his psychiatric's office. His eyelids were heavy like lead, almost impossible to move, and so was his entire body. Then he heard a quiet rustle. A second later, the other bed in the room, Moyu's bed, gave a quiet squeak as it dipped under someone's weight. Dipped under the weight? Are you just... Please tell me you're just sitting on the bed and not leaning over top, climbing over top of him. Good morning, Moyu. Did you sleep well? Don't give me that face. Is this about song? Your friend is unconscious, but he'll wake up in a bit. You worry about him too much. Others might get some strange ideas. I might get some strange ideas. You wouldn't want that, would you? Kai cracked an eye open, lost for a moment in how sunny and inviting the weather was outside their window. It was morning already. For some bizarre reason, it didn't feel like it should be morning. I brought your usual medicine. There are some powdered vitamins. Open up. Moyu. Yes, like that. Good boy. Kai turned his head to the side, gaze still blurry, distinguishing Chin's silhouette on his roommate's bed. Has he ever seen Moyu taking his morning dose of medicine before? No, he didn't. He was usually in the psychiatrist's office at this hour. Moyu was already in an upright position, back against the wall, his bottom half still hidden under a comforter. Something about it? It wasn't right. Kai tried to force his eyes to focus. Like this. It took him a few blinks to clearly see again, and when he did... Oh no, oh no, oh no. He saw Chin was sitting on Moyu's bed, giving him the medicine. No, feeding him the medicine by hand. No gloves on, forcing Moyu to take each pill directly with his lips. Kai's blood froze in his veins. He wanted to move, or make a sound, but he couldn't. It felt like his body was still asleep, even if his brain woke up. That medicine really janked us up. Moyu was capable of holding a spoon and fork, and he could operate his limbs and fingers just fine. That much Kai had known. They even played a card game before. There was absolutely no plausible reason that he could come up with for their nurse to do this to him. Why? Just why? And the last one? Good, good. When Moyu's plush lips unawarely caressed the nurse's hand for the last time, all the pills were already gone. Chin didn't back off. Instead, he leaned in even closer, his voice something between a whisper and a purr as he pressed his fingers to Moyu's cheek. Now, I'm gonna check if you swallowed like a good boy. And as if what he had just witnessed wasn't bad enough, Kai could only watch in horror as the nurse's thumb traveled to Moyu's red, pouty lips, demanding access. So, you and Song, let's talk about that a little. He couldn't believe his eyes. He couldn't. Surely that's not what it was. But then the thumb slid in and Moyu's lips wrapped around it for a second before his jaw went slack and pliant. Chin hummed, pressing down on Moyu's tongue to open his mouth wider. I'm glad you like him. Don't deny it. I could see it, and I know you better than anyone. But the thing is, Moyu... From his position, Kai couldn't see their caretaker's face, and he didn't want to. He really didn't. But his voice betrayed nothing. No stray emotion that shouldn't be there. It was as if everything was perfectly normal. He is just like everything else here. Any other test that pulls you away from getting better. If you let him too close, he will only bring you down with him. You would stay here forever. The thumb was gone, but only to be replaced by Chin's index and middle finger. The thick digits plunged inside Moyu's mouth again, and this time Kai could see his roommate holding them tightly with his lips, allowing the nurse to move his fingers in and out a couple of times as if he was... Fuck. Ugh. I hate this nurse. He does this to him every freaking day to give him his pills. He is just toying with him for his own pleasure. The scene that was playing in front of his eyes were almost like a movie, distant and so hard to believe. Chin reached behind Moyu's head to guide his movements, urging the other to suck his digits in deeper. Because Song, he is not leaving this place. He is a murderer and a sick, aggressive psychopath. We're lucky he didn't try to kill anyone in the hospital, but that's mainly due to our outstanding security. Kai held his breath, only realizing it when he got dizzy from the lack of oxygen, heart hammering in his chest so hard he didn't even know it could do that. He couldn't even focus on the fact that the entire time Chin was fixated on talking about him. I know it's difficult, but I also trust that you understand why distance is important. Moyu's eyes were blank, gaze cast downward as usual. He seemed used to what was taking place, following Chin's lead like he had done it at least a couple of times before. Or perhaps he was just pilot like that, trusting the nurse and doing whatever he was told. Something in Kai's stomach dropped all the way down to his feet at the thought. After what felt like an eternity, Chin pulled his fingers out with a loud pop and then wiped them down on Moyu's hair. Ew! Ew! Good boy. Moyu's thick lips were a few shades redder than before, moist from saliva and looking ripe like a fruit. Chin raised the hem of his gown as if he wanted to wipe the trickle of drool that traveled down his chin, but then dropped it a second after, apparently deciding against it. Don't forget, you have an important doctor's appointment today, Moyu. I'll be back in 2 hours to get you. Without further ado, the nurse got up and left the room. Oh, man. We gotta help him. Oh, that nurse. Oh, I hate him. We knew he was messing with Moyu and being creepy, but goodness. Creep. Ugh. A minute later, then another one. Moyu made no attempt to move, and neither did Kai. He felt lightheaded, hot and cold at the same time. His teeth clattered and his gaze blurred again. It had to be the new medication that's doing this to me. That, or it's all just a bad dream. Moyu's hand moved to his own chin tentatively, pausing there for a while before wiping the saliva off. When that was done, he slid down the bed and laid on his side, facing away from Kai and burying himself, head included, under the comforter. Kai's eyelids fell shut soon after. Oh no. The sedative effect of the drug wore off a few hours later, leaving Kai not only feeling confused and anxious, but also with a major headache, a combination that he probably hated the most, as it left him totally useless and mostly incapable of forming rational thoughts. My heart's racing to the point of nausea. As he was lying in his bed, brain still only partially functional, he wondered what had really transpired in the morning. It was their nurse, Chin, sitting on Moyu's bed giving him pills. Kai shook his head. Had he really witnessed what he thought he did? Was it all in his head? Nothing but a crazy dream. You witnessed it! You witnessed it! Don't you push it off, you witnessed it. We gotta help him. I don't know how, but somehow. I think it was real. It wasn't a dream. I know what I saw. Chin, that bastard. The entire afternoon, Kai felt like a stuffed puppet, too weak to get up from the bed on his own, so he missed both breakfast and lunch. He half expected Chin to come check on him, but the nurse never appeared. He is a horrible nurse. We just started a new medication, and we couldn't even get up to get breakfast, lunch, get water, nothing for ourselves. And the dude didn't come check on us at all. That is not right. If this was like a normal nurse, they would be in here checking on us constantly, especially, right after a new medication that they didn't know how it would affect us fully. That's horrible. Which didn't make things better. In fact, if both Chin and Moyu were out of sight, Kai had all the more reason to be anxious. He couldn't get the image of Chin forcing his fingers inside Moyu's lips out of his head. Despite the perversion of it, something about the way Chin acted felt almost casual, like it was just another morning between the two of them. What was that problem with me all of a sudden? What was his problem with me all of a sudden? Truth be told, Kai was so transfixed on what Chin was doing to Moyu that he didn't remember half of what was said back then. But what he did know was that apparently Chin had a grudge against him. A big one. Was it because he and Moyu got closer recently? When the door to the room finally opened and Moyu showed up, Kai felt both relieved and restless. Hey, baby. Are you wearing a new shirt? His roommate didn't seem much different than usual on the surface. But still, Kai noticed just how slow and listless his movements were in comparison to the day before. Moyu's skin seemed a shade paler, lacking the spark that Kai already came to seek and adore. Well, they said he had a doctor's appointment. Maybe they drugged him up again. He was feeling down. Moyu's moods weren't hard to read once one got to spend some time with him, and by now Kai was able to decipher his emotions pretty well, just by observing the slight dip between his brow and the curve of his lips. Moyu was clutching a t-shirt to his chest, one that Kai saw him in a couple of times before, hesitating for a moment before bending over to throw it into a trash can. After that, he turned away from Kai and sat down on his bed. Strange, I always thought he liked that shirt. Why did you do that? Oh, something happened to the shirt or to him while he was in the shirt, and now he can't bear to see the shirt. That's what's going on. At first, Moyu didn't react. After a couple of seconds, he sent Kai a side glance and raised his brows a little. The t-shirt. Didn't you like it? It was still pretty new, wasn't it? Yes. Then why? It's not like your wardrobe could burst open anytime soon or anything. Chin. A silver of uneasiness stirred inside Kai and made his way down his spine at the mention of their nurse. Chin? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Chin did something. Did Chin tell you to throw it away? Moyu's brows furrowed, his facial expression turning bitter before returning to its usual blankness. He shrugged. Talk to me, Moyu. You can't just give a person one word and expect them to understand, you know. Because I want to. I want to understand you. Moyu's lips were pressed into a thin, stubborn line, one that Kai knew all too well from all those times he tried to pry information out of his quiet roommate and never succeeded. He sighed heavily, expecting defeat, but to his surprise, this time Moyu didn't turn away and ignore him. Yes, it was. He did. It got damaged. I'll get a new one soon. Damaged? I see. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you liked it. So, where have you been? Moyu looked at him briefly, but his gaze slid over the floor a second later. He took a couple of minutes to reply. Doctor's office. To see a physician. Is something wrong? Are you sick? Moyu? No. What did the doctor want then? Was it some kind of examination or what? It was then that Kai noticed something peeking from underneath Moyu's turtleneck, a dark red mark that seemed to stretch and disappear into the area covered by the fabric. Right there! Right there! You see it? You see it? This little spot? That's a freaking hickey. That is a freaking hickey. I know what's freaking going on. Chin is like he was already, Chin, you remember before Chin was talking to nurses and everything? Everybody wants their turn with him. He is passing him around and getting probably paid for it, for people to spend time with Moyu. And apparently the doctor's in on it too. Oh my god. We gotta rescue him. We gotta freaking rescue him. I refuse to leave this place without him, okay? He frowned, eyes instantly scanning his roommate for anything else that seemed out of the ordinary. There was a bruise forming above his elbow, and another few on his forearm. Some gray and blue shaped like fingers, others much smaller. Nothing too obvious. If Kai wasn't specifically looking Moyu over, he probably never noticed him. But undoubtedly, there, at the growing silence between them, Moyu's gaze followed where Kai was looking, and the realization dawned on him, instantly hardened. I don't want him to get mad at us. We can ask him about it, or we can analyze the marks. I mean, he's already uncomfortable with us staring at it. He's probably going to be more uncomfortable with us asking about it. I don't want to make him mad at us. Someone grabbed him hard enough to leave bruises. Moyu is such an obedient guy. I don't believe they had any reason to use force. Not to mention that thing on his neck. Moyu, what's happening? Did someone hurt you? His roommate glowered. His brows knitted together and his lips clamped shut. If Kai didn't know him any better, he would think that Moyu was about to either scream at him or burst into tears. He did neither. For the first time since Kai met him, Moyu turned on his heel and left the room all by himself. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's either being threatened about it or he doesn't want to talk about it. No! No! For the next 2 weeks, his interactions with Moyu were so sparse and minimal that they almost got back to where they started, as total strangers. No! No! Moyu, my baby! Ah! I messed up! The man shut him out almost completely, barely allowing a word or two to be said before going stiff and unresponsive, blatantly ignoring his every effort to make a conversation. At first, Kai thought that Moyu was having a bad afternoon, then a couple of bad days. A week. But here they were on the 15th day and nothing had changed. Ah! No! Moyu! I'm sorry! We just want to help! We shouldn't have said anything. We shouldn't have said anything. He tried to give Moyu space. He tried to be mindful and respectful of him at all times, not asking invasive questions, not forcing him to doing anything he didn't like, not even trying to catch his eyes when Moyu clearly wished to be left alone. The marks on his body, the visit to the doctor. Chin. Is Moyu trying to protect me by keeping his distance like Chin instructed? Or was he manipulated into thinking that I'm a monster that everyone here paints me as? After that morning, their nurse never stepped out of line when Kai was present. He behaved like always, giving Moyu extra attention anytime he was around to minister his medicine, but not doing anything outright improper. Kai wondered if Chin knew he saw what happened back then between him and Moyu, hence why he tried to play it cool. When Subin visited him again, Kai almost felt too dejected and heavy-hearted to talk to him. He planned to keep the topic of Moyu out of the conversation, but of course that didn't work out well. His shirt just says, "Oh boy." You're very quiet today. Did something happen between you and Moyu? How did you... I know you a little. Last time we met, you seemed smitten, happy, hopeful. It's not like that with him. We're just friends. I might be feeling more, but Moyu doesn't return it. And it's fine. Honestly, it only makes sense in his circumstances. If anything, it's me who shouldn't be feeling this way. So, did you two have a fight or something? A fight? No, not exactly. A fight would be so much easier to settle. Kai could see the question in his friend's eyes and suddenly felt urged to tell Subin everything that happened with Moyu, Chin, and everything else. He was already so tired of keeping it all to himself. The idea of sharing that burden with someone was inexplicably tempting. There's something that I need to tell you. Yes, tell him. Tell him. Maybe Subin can do something from the outside, like file a complaint or, like, try to get Chin fired or something. Oh, Kai. Kai closed his eyes, a split second regretting his decision to share something like that with Subin. Telling him about Moyu's popularity amongst the hospital staff, the bruises he found on him recently, and Chin giving him the medicine as well as coaching Moyu to start hating Kai felt right and wrong at the same time. On the one hand, he knew that someone from the outside had to know the truth. On the other, it was almost like going behind Moyu's back with sensitive information that he probably didn't want shared. But the morality of what he had done put aside, Kai couldn't lie to himself and say that getting that burden off his chest didn't feel good. I just cannot understand it. You don't hear the staff gossiping all that much about patients. Most of them treat us like air or straight up wish we didn't exist. But Moyu? The moment he walks into a room, any room, things change. People talk to him all the time, and they don't talk about him all the time, and they don't hold back. I hear whispers wherever we go, and they're usually both nasty and improper. And I know that he's pretty, and that he stands out in a crowd and draws the wrong kind of attention, but I hadn't seen anyone get that kind of treatment constantly. Not even close. And Chin, he did those things to him right in front of me. Like it was a perfectly normal thing to do. Like it was nothing. He's always around Moyu, touching him as much as he can, demeaning him with his words, probably even showering him. At first, I thought that he was over-eager and had some weird attachment to his job, but it looks like it's more of an obsession with Moyu specifically. That sounds so creepy. Oh, it is. It is. I'm really sorry. What you went through with Huzin was horrible enough, and now this. About Moyu's popularity, though. Did you try asking anyone about it? Kai thought about it for a moment. He didn't, but not because that idea didn't occur to him before. He simply didn't feel like he could trust anyone enough to speak to about Moyu. Not to mention that the majority of patients in his weird ward were elderly and pretty much out of touch with reality, ignoring everything and everyone around them. Like other patients? I don't think there's anyone here that I could ask. Maybe except, Zuying. Subin hummed sympathetically. He intertwined his fingers and supported his chin on them. I get it. The hospital doesn't seem like a good place to make new friends. Not to mention it's a sensitive topic. But it cannot be a coincidence, though, right? They sat like this for a moment, with Subin chewing on his bottom lip, deep in thought. When he broke the silence eventually, there was a strange expression on his face. What was your roommate's full name again? Taken by surprise, Kai's mind went blank for a second. Moyu. His name is Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu, huh? It doesn't really ring any bells. What do you mean? Why would it? Subin's brows furrowed. What if your roommate is not just a patient? I mean, everyone here is not just a patient. There was someone else before getting admitted to this hospital. Right? In a way, at least. First off, you used to work in our restaurant, and you were the guest's favorite, too. A lot of people remember your face, your smile, the way you made them feel welcome. They asked you about you from time to time, even though we kept explaining that you quit. So, what are the chances there are more to what's happening to your roommate than just him being a handsome young man that can't really fight back? He had acquaintances, friends, bosses, and family before coming to this hospital, just like any other person. You think someone here knew him from before? Maybe. I mean, it's not impossible. He could have a stalker, someone who saw him shopping one day and just boom. Maybe it was a love-struck coworker, a fellow student who disliked him, a person who spread some kind of information in the hospital and built a bad reputation for him. Yeah, exactly. There's also a chance that Moyu used to be known by a bigger group of people, which would only make things easier. Maybe from a host club as a small-scale celebrity, a commercial model, or even a sex worker of sorts, a camboy. I'm not saying he was. It's just in the realm of possibilities. And maybe I'm entirely wrong here because I've never heard his name before, and I'm basing all those theories solely on what you observed, but I just have this hunch. Prompted by this new thought, Subin took a phone from his pocket. Oh? I'm surprised they let you in here with a phone. Why? They checked my bag, but they didn't search everything. Subin. You go, Subin. You mean a sneaky little boy. They told us that no electronic devices are allowed in the hospital. No power outlets in the wall either, so we can't charge anything. Or, as I said in one of the last presentations, accidentally execute ourselves or others and cause lasting harm. Denying you access to the outside world helps with your recovery in what way exactly? Makes perfect sense, right? I think, for him, it's about control. They don't want us talking to others or sharing what's wrong with staff, reporting the abuse. Pretty strict about it too. Her room was searched once because apparently they found someone else with a game console. That's insane. I'm not talking about the mentally ill people, they're actually struggling. It's apparently sane people in charge who turn the world into a crazy, inhospitable place. Before Kai managed to say anything to that, his friend glanced over the cafeteria clock and bolted out of his seat. Oh shoot, I gotta run. The restaurant is opening 1 hour early today, and I have to be there because we're supposed to tidy the place up for some VIPs. They reserved the restaurant for a huge company banquet. I'll do my best to drop in a couple of days, okay? I'll think through everything that you told me today. That's a promise. Sure. Thank you. Do research on our boy. Please. Okay. We're gonna stop here. Holy crap. Well, I think it was good to tell Subin because maybe Subin can do some research from the outside or, start piling a case against the hospital. That'd be good if you could get, a good case going against the hospital about the mistreatment of the patients. I should have chose the other option. No, Mo, you distanced himself from us. No, my baby. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you thought about this part down below. I know it was really uncomfortable at one part. I hope you guys are okay. I did put a warning about dark themes in the description. But I will see you all in the next one. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and remember, stay away from creepy people, okay? Please. Alright, bye!